Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So today, well, first of all, let me apologise if there's a little bit of an echo. I'm practically sat in an empty room because we're moving from the large room into the smaller back bedroom, which is now becoming our office. There's not a lot of furniture in here at the moment, so it's caused a tiny bit of an echo on our voices while we're being recording. So I do apologise for that. So today I wanted to have a play in my small Strathmore mixed media journal, which is one that I don't use that often. And I wanted to create something a little bit whimsical, and I wanted something which was kind of mixed media. But, and here's the big but, if you pardon the expression, I didn't really want to get the paints out. So I went looking through all of my motherboards that I'd already created and found this one. So this was a motherboard that I created quite some time ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago actually. I scanned it to use, but kept the original. I'm not going to use the original today, I'm going to use a scan, but you can feel, or well, I don't know whether you can actually see the texture on there, well, just where it's a bit shiny there, look in the middle. Some absolute gorgeous texture. There's tissue paper under there, there's paints, there's stenciling, there's mark making, there's splatters. Yeah, and I just kept it because I didn't want to destroy the original. I tend to keep most of my motherboards. I just scan them and then use the scans whenever I needed to. So I wanted to create something a bit whimsical. So, as I do, I sat down on my computer and I looked through all of my digital images that I've got in my collection, my digital cutouts, and put a little collection together. So let me show you what I've got. There we go. So this is the character that I call Axel. Don't know why, it's just what I wanted to go, just the name that came to mind. And I've put 2 pairs of different wings. So I've got some gold, kind of like angel wings, and I've got a couple of sets of like dragonfly wings. I've also got a little lemur facing both left and right. Now there's a reason for that. I've also added in a couple of steampunky elements. There's one on his hat and there's also a little kind of steampunk brooch for his coat. I didn't really see the point in putting those as separate elements because they're going to sit within there anyway, so you could just do them as one layer. So that's what I wanted to kind of create. So then I put it all together as a kind of composite image to use, like so. That's what I mean by you don't really need it. And I then put a crown in there as well, just so I could maybe drop it on top of his hat. That's kind of like what the image was going to be. The lemur, I couldn't decide whether to put him so it was actually sat in his arm here or on his shoulder, but I like the shoulder. I did say it was kind of whimsical. So, and I want to team that up with these. So, I've now got a composite image with the crown and the lemur already on, but we've also got the image with all the individual elements, the lemur, so you could either decide whether it's going to sit up there or sit down there, or even which way around you want it to look, and different pairs of wings. Now normally I plump for the easy option and go for the composite image. Not going to do that today. I'm going to cut out all the bits, all the individual bits. I probably will even cut out both of the lemurs, but I am going to go for the dragonfly wings. So what I've also done, I told you I'd already scanned this, but what I've done is I've also printed it off smaller, as you can see. So let's just get it the right way around. There you go. I've printed it off smaller so it fits inside the journal. And I've printed it off twice, so I'm going to put one on each side. So I've got 2 versions of those. So I think I've got everything that I need to be able to create this art journal page. Now then, if you'd like to create along with me, this kit with the pages, the background pages, and the sentiments that I've also done. There's 3 different sentiments. There's black out of white and white out of black. Those 3 sentiments are: spend your life doing strange things with weird people. There's also mixing it up with the weird and wonderful, but also that famous Dr. Seuss one, you have to be odd to be number one. So those I've put in a kit that you can download from my website now. So if you want to, you can pause this video, pop across to my website, purchase it, download it, print it, come back, and then we can do it together. Can't say fairer than that. Okay, so for the time being, I'm going to go away and I'm going to cut out Axel, the 4 wings, and both of the lemurs. And I will also trim out from the sheet, because I did say I printed that twice. There we go. And I've just printed that on normal paper because I want to glue that down. This I've printed onto slightly thicker paper, but only a little bit more thicker. So I'm going to cut those out and I'm going to choose, I think I'm going to go for the sentiment of spend your life doing strange things with weird people. There we go. I'm going to go for that sentiment as well. So I'll cut both of those out, but I haven't really decided whether I'm going to use the white out of black or the black out of white. Haven't decided. Depends which way the mood takes me. So I'm going to go away, cut those pieces out, and then I will join with you when I have trimmed and had a bit more coffee. See you in a little while. Okay, so all of my bits and bobs are cut out. So, and if you're wondering, I have spent some time just going around with the brush tip on the Vintage Photo Distress Marker, just colouring in the edges just to get rid of those white kind of raw edges that we don't really want. So that's all my bits for my art journal page. So they're already cut out. So the first thing I need to do is to stick these 2 pieces of backing paper into my art journal. What I've done is I've taken the right hand side is where Axel's going to go, my main character is going to go, but to make sure that there's a little bit of continuity over to the other side, where this green kind of blobby stenciling is, I'm going to turn that round and stick that down so there's a kind of continuation across. You also got it in the white up there and the white down there as well, and also where the yellow kind of joins, so it kind of moulds into one, even though you're going to have a little bit of a white border all the way around. It's still going to look as though it is kind of part of the same design. So, and if you're one of those people who think, you know, I don't really like using pattern papers and stuff as backgrounds for art journals, then, well, lots of art journalists do spend time getting rid of the whiteness of the page because they find it sometimes intimidating. So it's no different really from you actually using a pre-printed design in the back, like you would do with like a tissue paper or something like that, or a napkin even. It's no different doing that. So you're actually using a scan of a motherboard that you've already created, or even that somebody else has created if you've bought one as a digi-download from someone. So, you know, art journaling is what art journaling is. It's what you make it. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And if they do, send them round to me and I'll sort them out. Anyway, right. Let's get this stuck down on the page. Try and get it kind of even so there's a fairly even white border all the way around. I may not, but that's okay. And I'm using dry glue. It's a collage, so I don't necessarily have to use wet glue all of the time. And these images were printed off using my colour laser printer as well, so not the inkjet this time. We are debating at the moment whether or not to retire the inkjet in favour of the laser, but we still need to keep it because I still need to use the scanner. So, but the laser seems to give a more colour accurate if you're printing on ordinary paper to what's on screen if you're doing it from a digital image. The inkjet seems to go a little bit paler unless you're printing it onto glossy photo paper, that is, and then you get a real accurate rendition. But I don't necessarily like the shine. I know you get a little bit of a shine on lasered paper, but not necessarily all the time. Okay, so this has been lasered and it's not really shiny. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, so we can afford just to bring that a little bit further over. I think that should do us. There we go. There's a nice background. Not a lot of effort. All the effort was put in creating it in the first place. Just hope that sticks down, holds down. That's going to fold okay. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so we can start by positioning the wings and such on Axel's back. So up there and up there, I think. So just flip that over. Yes, it is the set. Well, I've done it on both sides. I did actually lighten the image up originally because it was a bit dark. So, but you're okay to do stuff like that, because if you can't do that in your own art journal, where can you? Right, so let's just flip that over and see what it looks like. Liking that, just line that up with the bottom. That's okay. So then we can do the smaller wings. Position that like so, maybe a bit further in. Like it. When you're in that whimsy mood, only whimsy will do. Okay. So let's add the other wing at the bottom. Like so. Yep, liking that. And then we'll stick the crown on. I know it's going to go over his hat and it's not going to cover perfectly, but don't mind that. So let's make sure we get the bobbles on the crown. And again, I did go around the edge of the crown, getting rid of the white edges. And it's going to cover that cog up on his head, but I don't really mind that either. So let's just, tell you what, let's do that. And I think what we'll do before we stick him down is we'll trim off the brim of his hat. Like it. Okay. So grab some scissors and then we'll just snip that bit off. Just like that. Which I could have done originally, but I hadn't decided whether I was going to put it on or not. So it's okay to change your mind as many times as you want. Okay, so King Axel of Fairyland. Yeah, like it. Alright, so let's get some more glue down on the back of those wings. And the glue stick I'm using is a Dilutions Diary glue stick, the triangle one for getting into corners, which I really, really like. I'm nearly out, so I will have to order some more. I have to go for either go through to Harrogate or order it from Diane's website. Probably order it from the website. I'm not really going to get a chance until lockdown ends, which is supposed to happen next week. I've got a bit of glue on the front, but hey ho. Okay, so let's sit you there. Just rub that with my finger. Actually, I've got a wet wipe. Because we've used a laser, we should actually be okay to lift that off. Yes. Ha. Bit of kitchen towel. Just give that a push down. Look at that. Excellent. Okay, so the last thing to go on then is going to be the lemur. So do we sit him up there on Axel's shoulder, or do we put him down there on his hand? I think actually I'm going to put him on his hand down there. Now, lemurs are lovely, lovely creatures, but, and here's the big but, when they get excited, they tend to pee on you. I know. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, that sounds as though I'm speaking from personal experience. So has Mike ever had a lemur pee on him? Well, there's your guess. Yes, they're lemurs. 3 of them, all over me. And more all over Ian. There you go. So yes, speaking from personal experience, they do pee on you. And it stinks. So much so, we had to buy new t-shirts to go home. So, yeah. Right, so let's get this glued down on there. So this is the quote for the page. Just thought I'd share that little memory from 2018 with you. 2008. That was at that was at the zoo in Miami. Yeah, the taxi drivers refused to take us home until we got different t-shirts because we really, really stunk. We were covered in lemur pee. But it was worth it, trust me. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat. So there we go. One collaged whimsy art journal page, just done with cutouts, and I hope that you did that along with me. Maybe you chose a different slogan or quote from the kit, maybe you put the crown on differently, maybe you used the other wings, or maybe you put the lemur facing a different way and maybe on his shoulder. Choice is yours really, and that's the beauty of having a kit to play with. You can pretty much use it the way you want. Now if you wanted to, you could go back in there and add some more black around the edge, give it a bit of shadow, but actually I kind of like it as it is. So all I want to do for this one now is just maybe go down here and then just, let's see if it'll, that's better. It's not writing on that. And I've put all my pens away, ready for the move. Let's have a look to see what we've got in here. Hope we've got something that will write on it. Probably not. Faber-Castell, let's see whether that'll work. Possibly. Yes. And today is, I don't know, take a punt, 26, 27 of November 20. I'm doing this on Friday, by the way, not Saturday. You'll be watching this from Saturday. I say from because you could be watching it in 2 months' time or a year's time for all I know, but there you go. So it was originally done on the Friday, 27th of November 2020. And that's it for me, I think. So if you've enjoyed me doing this art journal page from Collage Items, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. But I'd also just like to say a quick thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you. Here we go. I'll see you all again real soon. Bye for now.